2007 Aston Martin V8 Vantage. This car is getting on in the years now, but it's still pretty fantastic, I have to say. We just traded our 06 V8 Vantage for this 07 with a lot less miles, and I had kind of cooled off on the 06 Vantage just because it didn't wear very well. Whereas this example, 07, 1 year newer, and it's only got 18,000 miles on it and a brand new clutch. This kind of renewed my Aston Martin enthusiasm. That, and just now when I was on the way to pick this car up, I took the train out here and got picked up in a Rapide for the first time, and that was pretty cool. So it's especially cool because I get to, even just a little bit, compare how a newer Aston, like a current year model 2013 Rapide, compares to this V8 Vantage from 5 years ago now. And I mean, there's not much difference, you know, between the new and the old one. They're both fantastic interior, awesome surfaces everywhere. Everything is nice to touch. It sounds so good. And actually, I was asking the tech whether the Rapide has the Fuse 22 style, basically switch that you can just pull out and keep the car in loud mode. Essentially, just keeping open the valve in the exhaust that would normally be muted in this car, and I could totally tell was muted in the Rapide, up to about 4,000 RPMs, where it opens up and you really get that full V8 sound. It sounds so good. I'm obviously driving in some pretty shit weather right now, but I have driven the V8 Vantage enough to get a good feel for it, and even though it was always the car that was down on horsepower from the M6, and I think it was the Porsche Turbo that it was compared against, just within that kind of price range when it was new. It was down on power, but it was way up on looks, and the sound this thing makes is so good. I would absolutely mat it right now if it weren't raining and about a half inch of water sitting on the expressway right here. It's really not the right conditions to be messing around in a car like this, and especially since the traction control in this car is like worthless. I got maybe one warning in the few seconds of slip that I was experiencing just a little bit ago, but all in all, it's an Aston Martin. It's svelte, you know. It purrs at you. It looks amazing. People love the way this car looks, but it's expensive as shit to maintain. I've seen a lot of people lately on Jalopnik and on Reddit talking about attainable supercars or you know, high-end sports cars that are within a actually reasonable, somewhat attainable price range, and the V8 Vantage keeps coming up because you can get them for like 60 or 70, and it's a true British icon, you know. But this car just got its clutch replaced, and the whole job was $4,800, which to me is a lot. But when I handed the service guy the check for $4,800, I said, "Oh, I got a big check for you." He looks at me and goes, "That's not a big check at all." And I was like, "Yep, actually, you know what? Come to think of it, at an Aston Martin place, that's probably peanuts, you know?"